Since muckraking began, it has been an important tool for mass media. In this video, we will discuss how it began, who some important muckrakers through history are, and what muckraking is today.
From the years 1890 to 1920, the Progressive Era took place. During this time, Theodore Roosevelt coined the term muckraking in his 1906 speech, The Man with the Muckrake, which was a reference from the novel Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan.
However, muckraking may not have had the success it did if it wasn't for S.S. McClure and John Sanborn Phillips. They were the founders of McClure magazine, which was the first affordable magazine for the everyday working class. The founders hired journalists to uncover scandals with major companies and sometimes the government.
Some famous muckrakers in McClure magazine are Ida Tarbell, who wrote about the oil company, Ray Stannard Baker, who wrote about the steel company, and Lincoln Stephan, who wrote a series called The Shame of the Cities.
This was a great time for media and the government because they were able to come together as one and expose corruptions.
Now that we have discussed some of the history of muckraking, it is time to talk about 5 famous muckrakers who made an impact with this reporting style. Upton Sinclair wrote The Jungle in 1906, which was about immigrants who lived harsh, exploited lives in the United States. His book helped uncover problems immigrants had and shared the information with the public. Doing this helped create a bond between the public and journalism.
Edward Morrow brought muckraking to television on CBS. He produced a series of television reports that helped lead to the downfall of Senator Joseph McCarthy.
Working thesis tonight is this quotation. If this fight against communism is made a fight between America's 2 great political parties, the American people know that one of these parties will be destroyed, and the republic cannot endure very long as a one-party system. We applaud that statement.
This is one of the first times muckraking truly affected the population due to television.
Seymour Hersh is a political writer and investigative journalist.
The sit, and Callie came back and said, in effect, what are you doing? He said, I told you to take care of him. He said, well, I am. He said, no, I want him killed. And then Meadlow began following orders. He began crying.
His first major story was the 1969 Vietnam Massacre. He then spent the following 40 years uncovering CIA plots and government mischief in the Middle East, which created trust between him and his audience.
Woodward and Bernstein were reporters for the Washington Post, and they discovered the Watergate scandal. By reporting this scandal, they showed the public that the media isn't just a player for the government.
Julian Assange is a former hacker and software programmer who created WikiLeaks. Anyone can leak government documents using this. Although this isn't considered a traditional journalism, it is considered a major benefactor because it allowed the public to share documents with each other and have access to things that the government may have been trying to hide.
These are just some of the journalists who helped develop the idea of muckraking and make it what it is today. There are many restrictions within media today, and this has caused original muckraking to fall apart. Journalists today are required to fact-check everything, whereas muckrakers did not do that.
Investigative journalism is the new version of muckraking. However, investigative journalism is about finding the scandal and uncovering the facts. Muckraking stories could be described as more dramatized to really capture the public's attention.
Without muckraking, scandals within businesses and the government could still be hidden from the public's view. Without muckraking, fact-checking investigative journalism never would have surfaced. Without muckraking, America could be a more corrupt nation. Without muckraking, the public would be less informed.
Muckraking has shown the public that not only is it important to be informed, but it is part of being American, being able to see what used to be hidden.